houses too, and you're gonna still pay a lot of money for them. They're gonna find a way to get the money back.
And so,
Shit, they wanna get it back.
get rented. That's what I know. I think that's gonna be the new thing because,
And guess what? They're gonna try to get their money back. So
of course, nobody gets in this game to lose. Right. So
not at all. It's gonna be a price tag. Mm-hmm.
this shit ain't good.
It's good for me. 'Cause I got
Yeah, I'm fine.
right.
Yeah, because somebody, I guess she didn't realize who she sold her house to. And then,
How she did?
I don't know. I don't know how you did not know that Zillow was buying her house.
It's Zillow buying your house.
Right.
That's
And so now she's like, damn.
man, it's too late.
Yeah, too late. Ink is dry.
Yeah, check it properly.
The funds have been wired. Yeah. She not, yep. You know what she did. Check.
Oh, let me know when you're ready.
Oh, we've been recording for the past 2 minutes.
Oh. Well, so, but we'll see what how this all plays out, and you never know unless you just have to go through time.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now, what we're looking at is we see that they're, but 6 months, a year from now,
5 years from now, how this going to affect
mm-hmm.
the buyer's market. I mean, for them to, they're definitely setting themselves up to corner the market.
Oh yeah. Invitation Homes did the same thing years ago. It's about 4 years ago, 5 years ago. They started buying so much stuff. I remember showing a house to a client, or we were supposed to be looking at a house, but they were getting houses built in a community, all for them to rent.
You got me caught up in it.
You know what?
Yeah.
And they rented me the house and sold it.
Right.
Didn't they,
What is it? Invitation Homes?
They'll place that rent out.
yeah, it was a community, I think in Stockbridge. It was
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
They had to build houses for them, and they rented them out. And it's like, you renting out brand new houses?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So I understand if Zillow and Open Door, they're buying these houses, and even if they're overpaying for them, because if later on they say, hey, we're gonna go and rent this house,
because long-term wealth in real estate is renting.
And if you have, so Invitation Homes had a thing where you rented this house, but they had such a resource to where if you needed anything, they had their own maintenance people to come out and get all this stuff done. So you didn't have any issues. You don't have to worry about calling the owner and say, hey, my hot water heater is broken, and it takes them 3 or 4 days. Or you have to worry about the rent's not being paid, the mortgage not being paid. They've already bought the house. It's already paid for. It's theirs. So there's no sheriff knocking on the door saying, hey, we got to put you out because they're foreclosing on your house. It's a done deal.
Mm-hmm.
That's already been taken care of. So yeah, you had the comfort of being able to live in the house and not worry about the mortgage not being paid.
Right.
But you still don't own your house.
Of course.
And just with any other lease, every year that lease it's going to increase. It's going to increase.
So the thing is, if they corner the market, then when you do or you are ready to buy, what's going to happen is it's not going to be a lot of people to
those houses are going to be right. Those houses, you might as well just exclude all those houses because if they're going to put them up for rent. So now what happens is, and I've had a couple of instances already where landlords owners want to sell, but they want to sell to owner. they don't want to sell to big brand. They want to make sure somebody's gonna live. They don't even want to sell to an investor.
Yeah.
They want somebody to live.
Yeah.
They want to own.
I see that a lot in like kind of well-to-do areas, like this particular seller.
Mm-hmm.
He said he chose my client's offer because they were a family.
Right.
And they wanted
Right.
to sell to a family and not to an investor.
Right.
So
So they
her
understand.
offer out of, I don't know, 20, 30 some offers
accepted.
got chosen because of that.
They know how hard it is for somebody that has a family, because everybody knows in the news that there's a shortage of houses.
Right.
They know investors are buying up these houses, so they want to put somebody in the house that they know is going to be able to benefit from.
One, and then two, they were, considering their neighbors.
Mm-hmm.
I think, you know what I mean? At first I was thinking, like, if we were to ever sell our house, I was like, I don't really care who I sell it to, as long as. But then I start thinking about my neighbors, like they're gonna be,
They
stuck with that, and an investor, they don't care who they put in there, they don't care, and that's what's really gonna bring down neighborhoods and stuff like that when you are not selective with, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Who you
this
sell your-
investor's going to
Yeah.
possibly get their money, but like you said, the neighbors are going to be affected by that, because you don't want
Right.
anybody in your neighborhood.
Right,
And you hate
exactly.
to discriminate like that, but sometimes
I mean, it's not just. It's a little red line-ish.
some of the renters have not kept the best track record.
This is true.
And even homeowners haven't, but at least they own their house, and so they feel like they treated a little bit better than a renter. They're treated just a little bit better. Some renters don't treat your property like you would.
This is true.
So, like I said, they think about their neighbors, and they want to make sure they put
Yeah.
somebody in the house that'll treat that house.
Cause that Travis, I swear to God, if I catch up with my neighbor, you're gonna be selling my house. What if I catch up with that lady? I'm gonna convince her. 'Cause I mean, she's getting, she's kind of getting a little too old to care for the house. You know what I mean? And I mean, I'm like, well, I think she was one of the original people in the neighborhood, back in I think 2006. But, she's getting in age, and she just cannot keep up the yard and stuff like that. But where's she gonna go?
That's the problem. Well, if she's
Even if she buy like something in the elderly community,
they'll feel
you know what I
outside.
mean? Yeah, but it's still the prices. I'm pretty sure, like,
But she can make a pretty penny on her house and still have something left over to buy another house.
to buy another one, but you're spending all of that and buying.
Might be. Well, you know what? They do have a couple other options. They have those high rises that have for the and I say high rise. I check that. Let me take that back. They have
Senior living.
places that makes it a little bit more affordable for them to live in. There. You don't have the land that you don't have to worry about cutting grass or anything at all. It's almost like a glorified apartment, but it's just senior living. So you don't have the issues that you might have with your neighbors. Everybody understands that you might need some help with your wheelchair or.
My father-in-law lived in one, and yes, it was still just as much drama, if not more. Having walk awards and shit.
Wow.
Getting their wheelchairs hung up with each other.
But at least they're in a closer community, and they can watch out for each other.
They do.
Yeah.
They do. But I mean, I don't know, this is how you're gonna convince a person who's been living in their own space, and let's say she has that house is probably like 2,500 square feet. 22, 25, and then you ask them to go down to move
To
her whole,
Her children's gonna have to be the one that's gonna convince her, or at least say, "Hey, mama, grandma, this is gonna be the best option for you." That'll be, instead of you living in the house by yourself. Now we can put you in the community to where there are other people.
You know what? We have a 3-level home, and so our daughter was like, the moment y'all cannot get up and down these stairs, you're out of here.
You ready to
I told I said, I got something for you. We're gonna get one of them chair things. We're gonna get two of them. We're gonna get what's that thing called? The chair riding thing.
Yeah, something like that.
That's what we're gonna get. The hell you say. So just imagine, like, it's hard to convince an old person to.
Especially if they've been in there for a long time and they've had their freedom and they say, I want to go.
And they not.
Unfortunately, and you hate to say this, but it would have to be something drastic to happen to her for her to say, okay, I need some help.
Yep.
She
Yeah,
might fall and can't get any help. My life will don't work or something.
Yeah. I have a friend of mine whose parents are 90 and 94, and the dad is 94, and the health is rapidly declining, but you can't tell them that.
Mm-hmm.
And he told his children, I'm not going in no effing nursing home. You can go. I ain't going to no effing nursing home. And he meant every word.
Yeah. They mean it.
Every word. He said, my dad cuts me out. So, yeah,
But hopefully, people will start to get their things together so that they won't have to depend on renting always. I understand things happen to people. You lose your job, you need to downsize, and you need to go from one spot to the next. Hey, there's that in between.
right.
So sometimes they do need to decide to rent. And I'm not trying to knock the big box companies, but hopefully some of these sellers will realize and say, look, you can't. Yeah, you might try to max out as much money as you can, but think about your neighbors.
Think about your neighbors when you're doing that, when you're maxing out, as much as you can on your house, which anybody would want to. I mean,
Right. Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's, ultimately, yes, that's your home. And, sometimes your forever home or just whatever that purpose is for the home other than living. Yeah, you definitely want to get, more book for your bang or whatever. You definitely want to get it, but also consider your neighbors and stuff like that, because you wouldn't want your neighbors to do that to you.
Or even just think about the person, the single mother, the family that is looking to upgrade their living, and they need this house for their children or for themselves, or they want to build a family. Think about them when you're deciding to sell your house, because if you sell to this investor or this big box, they're not going to get this house. They worked and they saved their money, and now they finally got their credit right. And they finally had their down payment money together, and they've been saving, and they haven't taken a vacation because they want to make sure that they save all their money. They've been driving the car that they've had paid off for the last 15 years, and it might be on the last leg, but they've done everything that they need to do to buy this house. And now that they've gotten there, 2021 hit, and it's like, well, we can't go and afford these houses because, for one, the price has gone up. For two, we can't afford to pay our own closing costs. And so
the sellers ain't paying it.
Right, and so that hurts a lot of them.
Yeah.
But most hopefully the sellers will think about this and say, let me put this in a well-deserved hands of somebody. We were fortunate enough to get into this house ourselves. Let's pass this along. Let's pay it forward with somebody that actually needs this and can use this.
Exactly. Because just stop making these big box companies richer, because they don't care about nobody.
Exactly.
But the bottom line, they don't even care about the workers that work for those companies.
Absolutely.
So we want to be able to keep home ownership where it needs to be with homeowners.
Part of that American dream.
Yeah, right. We want to keep it a dream and not a nightmare, and not having people, paying overpriced for homes. And then when these homes are praised for, these houses, then what we just say is not worth it. Because it's appraised for that.
Yep. That's what the appraisers are there for, to tell you exactly what your house is worth.
Right. So at that moment, this is what it's worth. Even though, someone else's opinion, it may not be worth it.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Well, you know,
houses.
but appraisers run off the numbers, so they keep their opinions out of it. They just look at numbers. Hey,
But I'm saying no, like outside of the appraiser's opinion,
yeah, right.
like our opinion,
Right.
or you know what I'm saying, someone else's opinion versus the appraisal doing the evaluation. You know what I mean? Like it's sad, and I fear for what's going to happen.
That's an unfortunate drawback of these just big boxes coming in and just throwing money at problems.
Mm-hmm.
They're throwing money at things, and it's gonna be a catastrophic on the back end. Because what's gonna happen? Those rental prices are they want to recoup their money.
Right, and they're
So-
gonna make it back up in rent.
Absolutely.
And so if you have houses, what do you think apartments are going to start doing?
Right. Oh, you know what? These houses,
These houses,
are
right.
this much.
We're gonna up our prices too.
Yeah.
So, and what's not going up is income. Yeah, right now these companies are offering $16, like these fast food restaurants are offering $16 and stuff like that. That ain't gonna last forever. Number one, and then number two, for the people that like have clerical jobs and stuff like that are already at those salaries, they're not getting increases.
Or the ones that the jobs is coming in and saying, hey, I give you a bonus. But what about the people that already been there?
Yes.
They're not getting the bonuses. And like you said, they already maxed out on what they're making.
What their position is
Their
going to
nurses
be.
and
Yeah,
everybody
exactly.
else, your frontline workers, all
Right.
of those.
So I know, like, a lot of, I'm gonna jump a little bit, but a lot of, that's good. A lot of nurses are leaving their jobs and becoming traveling nurses because they're paying, that job is paying triple pay. Sometimes you could get 4 times the pay as you would if you sit on somebody's job. So, you know, who wouldn't take that? But then these companies and hospitals and doctor's offices and stuff like that pay these people those salaries because when they all leave, you're going to pay a traveling nurse to come in and do the job. So go ahead and go ahead and give them.
Because that's all the traveling nurse does is you're leaving from this place and going to another city somewhere and working as a traveling nurse. Well, now you've left a void where you just left from. And so they still, those people that are coming in and are already there, already need your help.
Right.
They still need your help. So now that, like I said, that company's going to have to bring in a traveling nurse.
Right.
And it's just circulation.
So, let's say you got somebody that's committed, that's staying there, and you paying this person, y'all doing the same job, and you paying this person 4 times what the employee is making. That ain't fair.
Yeah, I mean, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. That's why it's not fair for someone that is renting a house to be paying an astronomical amount when it's not necessary. That's why they need to go ahead and get their credit together. They need to give you a call.
Right.
That's why they need a call.
404-643-5573 so that I can get you pre-approved.
Right.
And then I'll send you back to Travis. And Travis, what you gonna do?
What I do is just, first of all, as long as they call me at 404-422-8568, then we'll start, after we've gotten your approval letter, to go and find them the best place possible for their money.
Right. Exactly.
Definitely take care of it.
Right. So, it's just that Zillow stuff was on my mind
Right.
all week.
With the tag team, though, we'll definitely take care of it.
Yeah, we did take care of y'all. But yeah, just be careful who you sell to.
Yeah, and you know, it's don't always go on a knee-jerk reaction. Yeah, that money looks good up front, and you might say, well, I can't believe it. Is this actually true? But think about the long-term effects of everything.
Yeah. How would that affect agents if they start
Going directly to, so basically you're taking business out of our hands to a degree, because I have had in the last, I'd say maybe 3 or 4 years ago, Zillow bought a couple of my clients' house. Zillow ain't open door. Bought a couple of my clients' house, and they came to me and said, well, I want to sell my house. What do I need to do? Now, the reason why they sold theirs to those companies, was because they didn't have to wait the 30 days for somebody to go and get finances. Somebody to come in and take a look at the house, you know, all the traffic that's coming through. They were actually living in the house at the time. So they didn't want the traffic. And so we decided to go to one of the big box people because they sent us an offer right away. They only came in one time to just do a walkthrough and make sure everything was fine, and that was a done deal. So I was still able to facilitate the deal, even though yes, it took that house out of the hands of somebody else, a family that could have used it. But some people are actually going directly to the big box company without having to come to an agent because they so-called make it so convenient for them. But you still need an agent to help guide you through this process. You still need an agent to help you understand what these numbers are because they could tell you anything. And I'm not saying that they're lying to you, but if you need a clarity, you need someone to help you fully understand everything. You need a person that will walk you through this whole process. That's why you call an agent to help you through this, to make this deal work. Even with an investor, because investors will come in and they will try to possibly lowball you because they want to get as much as they can for as low as they can so that they can
their margin.
Exactly.
Increase their margin.
So you still need an agent that's going to work on your behalf.
Right.
The investors are just trying to get in where they can. You need somebody that's going to take the time out to explain everything to you, to tell you, hey, sometimes you just need to slow down. Everybody says, hey, hurry up. But sometimes you need to actually slow down and say, let me think about this. Let me look over everything. Let me analyze this. Let me make sure that my decision that I'm going to make is going to be the right one. That's what agents do for people. We take a lot of that pressure off of you. We help you navigate. We're not going to tell you what to do. We're just going to explain it all to you so that you can see this. Maybe you miss something. Maybe you don't fully get the full picture. That's what we're here for. At least that's what I do.
Because my agent is Travis.
That's right. That's exactly what we're doing. But that's what we do. So with them selling to these companies, you're taking resources out of our hands, and that's our job. This is what we do. We are the face of, you might see their commercial, but you'll catch me at the grocery store. You'll see me at the gas station. I'm at baseball games and football games and everything else,
Right. And on top of that, it's more of a personal.
Right, exactly.
So it's like your clients can call you
Whenever
anytime.
right.
It's not a Monday through Friday, 8 to 5 situation. And then on top of that, you're not going to be able to, you call Zillow, you're not going to get the same person.
No, you will not.
No, you know what I mean? You're going to get...
This person is that person is that.
If I could think how this thing gonna go, they're gonna hire some people overseas, pay them $8 an hour to answer their call center. You know what I mean? So not only like you're doing that, you're taking jobs away from, if you look at this from in a grand spectrum, you know what I mean?
Right.
They paying somebody overseas.
And again, you're just a number. You're not gonna get that personal touch. In the end, once you sell your house, it's gonna be like, oh, okay, hey, here's your check, see you later. And you just kind of just left in the dark after it's all over with.
Right.
So
and there's no more, what's that? The homestead exemption that a lot of agents, remind their clients when it's coming up on a year January, right? To a lot of agents, you're not gonna get that. You're not gonna get that with these big box companies. To remind you, hey, file for your homestead. So
it's all about personal touch. It's all about personal touch. Even when you're looking at a local loan officer versus one of the big box loan officers that are nationwide, you might get your one certain specialist, but that one specialist probably has so many files that they don't remember who you are.
And will not.
They won't see you at the store. They won't, see you here and there, wherever. They're not
even in the same state with you.
Exactly.
Right. They don't send Christmas cards. They don't send thank you cards. Like I do all that.
They don't understand the
They ain't gonna buy you no gift. I tell you that at closing.
They won't. It's all email and it's all a phone call or something. You can't physically see them and touch them and say, hey, here's who I'm working with. They say, oh, well, who's your loan officer? person that was
Agent 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
exactly. That's what you're gonna get. So that's why it's good to have local people
Right.
that you can actually touch.
Put
that
your
you can
hands on.
actually- Exactly.
Put your hands on that, actually truly have your best interests at heart.
We do. Because we've gone through this process, so we understand what a person is going through. You have a
Right.
personal touch that goes along with it.
Right.
That's why you talk to someone that is here versus everywhere else.
Wherever God knows where they're gonna be at. This is crazy.
Well, I tell you what. Let's go ahead and let's go and make some more deals happen for these people. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So if you want to sell your house, say no to Zillow. I'm lying. I'm just playing. Okay. Say yes to Travis. Hey, Ryan, say yes to Travis.
Oh my goodness. So again, they have to come to you first before they come to me. So tell them how do they get in contact with you?
So you're gonna get in contact with me on all of my social media platforms. Is Chisa Johnson, loan_officer. My phone number is 404-643-5573. Travis, how can they get in touch with you?
My agent is Travis on all my social media. My Instagram is my agent is Travis _404.422.8568. On Facebook, it's my agent is Travis. You'll see my wonderful, handsome faces on there. But again, if you can't find me, you forget all else fails, and you say, I can't remember my real estate agent's name. If someone asks you, do you have an agent? You're supposed to say, yes, my agent is Travis. And then put .com behind it, look me up, call me, email me, and I'll be there to respond.
Yeah, I'm the bag lady. I get the bag. Get the bag.
All right, well, good conversation.
Yeah, we see y'all next
Next time.
week. We see y'all on payday. 2 weeks.